Alright, my dumb video for the day is how to break a bead on a wheel and tire removal with virtually spending no money on dumb bead breaker tools. First thing I'm going to do, good tip, is to draw on here with a Sharpie the direction of what your tire is. So when you put your new tire, you'll know which way to put it because both sides of the rims look the same. Next thing is I'm going to take out the air valve. Alright, this is just a stock jack that came with my Dodge 2500. The only money I spent on this whole product was a couple of brackets and a couple of bolts. What those are for is to attach it onto my step. Another handy item for loading your bike into your truck. Video for another day. Anyway, got a couple of wing nuts, attaching this on. Whatever your bumper is or trailer hitch, you'll have to figure out the method for that. This one works for mine, but I'm sure this will help you figure out something, as I took most of these ideas I stole from other people online. Alright, now obviously this is not going to reach all the way down to a front wheel or even a rear wheel. So up here I have like different size 2x4s, different lengths. I'm going to start with this one for pushing the tire off of the rim. Again, the bead is inside the rim here. I'm going to push down right here on the tire, next to the rim, to push this off, using my jack to push that down. Lined up. Right there. Foot on here would be a good idea. Just about off. In some cases you may need to turn the rim just a bit, but it is unlikely that you would have to do that a third time. There you go. You may have heard that little pop. That is the sound of the bead slipping off. Alright, now, just by pushing, you'll feel that that side is loose. And then you are going to do the same thing on the other side. You might be doing it there. Alright, so bead is broken off of both sides. I did one thing different this time than usual. When I broke the second side, it was stuck on there pretty good, and maybe because the first side was off and making it flimsy, it was making my 2x4 slid off. So I just, for no money again, I just grabbed a quick bracket, screwed that on the end so that I had a better edge to fit up against the rim and shove down, whereas before the 2x4 was like sliding off. All right, so you got your vise. This here is just a 3/8 ratchet extension. 2x4 with hole in it. The purpose of that is when you put your rim on here, keeps your rim and your brake and everything from getting scratched on the vise. All right, I've already put in my rim protectors so that when you're doing your tire irons, it'll keep from scratching your rim. First thing you want to do is, we've already gotten the bead off, is on the opposite side that you're going to be using your tire irons from, you want to push this down so that the bead gets in the lowest part of the rim. That will give you more space over on this side for pulling up and over. This happens to work nice at this height. So I can hold it and get one in. Okay, so you got those two out. Take this middle guy out, ain't doing anything anymore. Alright, middle guy out again. Probably that is enough. Later on, when you're going to put this on, you're going to want to soap this up, soapy water or simple green or something. That would probably also help to get it off, but you see it did just fine. All right, we got the one side off. I left the rim protectors in there. Next step, soapy water. Spray over that. And then you're going to work your iron over the plastic rim protector. Start pushing forward. And I'm pushing on the rim up here with my hand as well. And because it's nice and soapy, it should come off with just having used the one tire iron. And there you go. Alright, now we're going to put the tire back on the rim. A couple important pieces of information that are on this tire you will need to know about. This right here is the arrow, which is the direction of this tire. Every arrow on every tire looks different. You'll just know that there is only on one of these sides there'll be an arrow, and that will be your direction. As we have our arrow here that we put before, obviously we want to have these going the same direction. The other piece of information on the tire, on one of the sides somewhere there will be a red or yellow or white, there'll be a dot or a circle, something that the tire manufacturer has put on there, and that is to help with balancing. You're going to line that up with your air valve. So in this case, this is the direction of the tire. Got the arrow going the same as that, and then we're going to have our little dot going right over the air valve. All right, once you get to this last part, you're going to probably have to use a tire iron. You want to make sure that you get the tire iron all the way over the rim underneath your tire, because if you think you are and you're not, and you go to lift up, this is going to scratch your paint really bad. So lift up. I can feel on the other side that it's there. That's one side. Now for the other side of the tire, we're going to soap it up again, get it slippery as we can. We're going to push one side of the tire on, just as much as you can get it by hand. Alright, and then just start working the tire on with your tire iron. Make sure that your tire iron, this part right here, is all the way up under your rim, because if it is there on your rim and you thought it was all the way and you go to move it, you are going to scratch your rim. So make sure that you are all the way inside of the rim. You start working down as you go. Every time you do a new tire iron, the old one can be taken out. Careful also as you are working one side that it's not just popping out as you're going. Eventually your tire will be getting tight enough where you're going to need to push down the opposite side to get it down in that lower part of the wheel to give you more slack. Alright, so I'm going to keep that there. Try working this side in now. Alright. A third arm would be good right here. Brand new stiff tire. I could use a third hand, but she's holding the camera right now, so I'm going to try this clamp. I just want to keep this tire down into the low part. Not the easiest thing, but it'll save you money if you can do it yourself. Next step is we are going to put the air valve back into the air stem, tighten it up so that we can fill the tire with air and set the beads on both sides. That's tight. And your air. May or may not make a loud pop. If it makes a pop, you know it's definitely set. There's one. Let it keep filling up until the other one does it. And there you go. Your beads are now set on both sides. And it is more than likely the amount of air pressure you have in the tire is 3 times what you need. So you'll want to adjust your air tire pressure to whatever it is that you like. The last step I'm going to show you is balancing your wheel. All right, the last step in your new tire replacement thing is to balance your tire. A couple things that you'll need here. You need a box of weights, not a whole box, but whatever. Some heavy-duty wire cutters. Little plastic tool here I'll show you for in a minute. Some easy-to-remove tape, soapy water, and a towel. All right, your first thing you're going to want to do is remove the old weights. You're not going to want to balance that with the old weights on there because they were for some other tire. For whatever reason, this tire doesn't have any, so I'll show you over here. I'm sure you know what they look like, but you'll just use a little plastic tool to dig these off and scrape off the old tape. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do is give your tire a light spin, so it at least does, you know, almost a whole rotation here. And what's going to happen is the part where it's heaviest will find its way down to the bottom. You basically just have to wait while this is happening. You can go do something else because it's going to find its way to the bottom, wherever that is. We'll just stand here and look at it for now, though. All right, so see how it stopped on its own and now going back the other way. That means wherever that heavy side, it's just going to come down to the bottom. Now, as you do more of these, you'll see some that are going back and forth very fast and some that are very slow. You'll learn what that means. Very fast means there is, you know, a pretty heavy spot on one end. Very slow means that it's almost basically balanced as it is. So you will just learn doing a few of these in a row what it's going to be. All right, so we're just about at the spot here, and you really just want to let the wheel do its own thing, so you can find wherever the low end is. I just used again a 3/8 ratchet extension to act as my axle for right now in the vise. Okay, so the heavy end is right here. You're going to want to put weights opposite of that. So starting with cleaning off the surface where you will eventually put your weights. And then the reason for the cheap tape, I will show you in a second. This to me did not seem like it was going too fast, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of weights. I'm going to guess just 3 of these to start with. They come in different weights, so I'm not going to bother with what they are now. But just grabbing this off, and then I'm going to take some tape. And for now, so that we don't stick on unnecessary weights, I'm just going to stick these on here with this tape, and I'm going to redo the spin and see what happens here. So previous heavy spot was there, may still be in that spot, in which case I put 3 weights here. Maybe it's going to be 4, maybe it's going to be 3.5. That's what the wire cutters are for, because they're just made of lead. You can cut them in half if you need to. All right, still heavy there. I'm going to take and do 4 of these then. Let's see if that's the right number. Take this off. Put that in its spot. Same thing. So the old heavy spot that was here no longer seems to be the heavy spot. These wheel weights don't seem to be the heavy spot as well. The fact that the wheel is stopping rather than bouncing back and forth means this is the amount of weight that we should use. So just for fun here, I'm going to mark that spot as where the weights go. I've already cleaned this, but just to make sure so that these will stick, clean it once more. And I am going to take the 4 weights, peel off the stick-em back paper, and stick it onto that area. Now you got a smooth side here. This inner part happens to have texture, maybe on your rim, maybe not. But you preferably don't want to stick these on to anything that's textured. You want to go where it's nice and smooth. So here's our marking. I'm going to stick them right on here. I like my stuff straight. Squeeze those on, and that is about all you got to do. That is taking the tire off, putting a new tire, balancing it, and this thing is ready to go. Thanks for watching. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just look at it. Do me first.
Okay.
All right, today. Yeah, okay. All right. Best for you. I put another 2x4 here on the ground. That's to keep either your brake disc, or if it's a back wheel, keeping your sprocket from getting grinded into the cement or whatever you got. Take 2.
Stand up. Okay.
Whereas before the 2x4 was like sliding off. All right, now we are ready to put the tire back on the wheel. There are a couple important pieces of information on this wheel. Okay, start.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Good. Keep saying okay. Okay then. Should have just shown. I mean, I was hoping something. Anyway, let's have to do all that over again. Yeah, I'm looking like an idiot. All right, the last step in the replacement of your tires. Okay, let's keep going. And just squeeze that on, and we're going to redo it.